Got it.
All right, got it.
Islam.
All right, Islam, peace and love to you all. How are y'all doing this holy degree, this beautiful Venusian Venus Day, Friday, however you want to say it? How are y'all? We would like to thank you for joining us for another Impromptu Improv, and this is Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 7, right? And Soy Hamano, brother Sean L, and you already know that all is well. And bro, could you give me that assistance that I need, bro? What was that appellation, bro? What was that?
Brave heart, brave heart. It's always fun, right?
Islam, and I am here with my bro, the living master, and he is
alrighty, y'all. Namaste. Islam. I am Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey here in Morocco at Northwestern Mexico. How are you? Let's get started. Happy Holy Venus degree to you all, by the way. Man, let's just get right into it, bro. You know what I mean? Because we gotta move like clockwork, right? Get things done, get in and out, make our points, you know what I mean, and leave it to the people to really be supportive where they should be, and if not, you know, just dust the feet off, move on to the next town, you know. So right. let's just get it started. We're going to do our invocation in term the Moorish American prayer. Can extend all 5 appendages on the left hand, just the index in the middle on the right. And I will be leading us into our invocation in, all right? And we're going to face east, which is metaphysically symbolic to going within. So we're going to face directional east, all right? And here, Moorish Holy Temple of Science Administrative Functions. On page 48 and 49. On page 48, you see handsomely standing Dugard in his Moorish Sharif's Fez and Abba as Prophet Noble Drew Ali, founder, right, pertaining to the Moorish Science Temple of America, which is the religious corporate activity name adopted by the Moorish Holy Temple of Science. And we're going to do this invocation in, guys. So again, extend all 5 appendages on the left hand, just the index and middle on the right. We're going to face directional east, which is metaphysically symbolic to going within. And you can repeat after me either aloud or in your heart. Islam. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth. Peace. Freedom. And justice. Allah is my protector. My guide. And my salvation. By night. And by day. Through his holy prophet. Noble Drew Ali. Amen. Islam to ye all. Alrighty, guys. First letter to be read in every meeting will be read by our beloved brother in whom we're well pleased, Brother Sean Lee Mellon. It is also in the Moorish Holy Temple of Science Administrative Functions, pages 84 and 85. And we yield the floor to our beloved brother, Sean Lee Mellon.
Islam. The following is a letter written by Prophet Noble Drew Ali on the 18th day of January, 1928, Anno Domini, or AD as some would say. He commanded that it be read before every meeting. It's from Administrative Functions, Moorish Science Temple of America, Home Office, 3603 Indiana Avenue, Noble Drew Ali, founder, Chicago, Illinois, January 18th, 1929, to be proclaimed in every meeting. Dear brother, Islam, I am glad to know that I have few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There is a host of jealousy about me and the movement, now by the same people of our side of the nation, that claim it was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as an American citizen, They are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me so they themselves may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that contribute to the movement and uplifting funds. The ones that pay their divine respect to me and the movement will be remembered. That is why I'm calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance and I need it bad. Never before have I needed finance as badly as I do at present, that I may shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because of my fame and nobility, quote unquote. The nations of the world would not recognize the movement without me, the prophet, being the head. It has been proven by my work in which I have performed in the last few months, because I was at the governor's inauguration to represent the Moorish divine and national movement, and I will be at the inauguration of President Hoover for the same cause. Noble Drew Ali, Islam.
Islam. Next, we're reading from Moorish literature. Excerpts from the Moorish Guide newspaper on page 12. We still see there, handsomely standing due guard is Prophet Noble Drew Ali and his Moorish Sharifs Fez and Abba. Here on page 13, divine warning by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Prophet warns all Muslim governors. Prophet warns all Muslim governors ordered to read the proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work in their homes or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button seats wearing their turban and fez and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and if the Prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The Prophet, therefore, is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting the Prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the Prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways by order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. There were some things I thought we were going to read after our presentation. However, since we're here pertaining to the spirit of the prophet, we're going to read a bit from Moorish Leaders' Historical Message to America. So I went and took a picture of my Moorish literature to that beautiful 4-page letter at the back of it, pages 18, 19, 20, and 21. And it's a portion that I'm going to read here. All right, because I've just, really been contemplating on how industrious Seven Hill Star actually is from the time that, it has been placed on my brain and given divinely for me to be conduit through which I have come across brothers that a couple, were only there for a moment in time, and then a few who actually stay the course. All right. And so what I want to read in the Moorish Leaders' Historical Message to America is the part that's going to be about economics. And after that, Brother Sean's going to read from chapter 32, verses 6 and 7. All right. Degree 32, 6 and 7 from the Holy Quran for the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, doing religious corporate activity, being and adopting as its corporate name, Moorish Science Temple of America. All right. And the reason why I speak the way I speak is to be complete. All right. So that it is what it is. Take it or leave it. I make sure I'm being complete so that any other sincere beings that come along that analyze Prophet Noble Drew Ali's literature will at least have something to actually better themselves and be on a lot more of a more solid course in the state and condition of themselves pertaining to their interaction being a part of the Moorish divine and national movement of the world, which is your birthright, not something to be treated as if it's a terrorist organization or something like that. All right. It's not what Prophet Noble Drew Ali intended. And as you can see here, I've taken copious notes and paid attention to certain things when reading this. However, let me just get to page 20 to show where I'm going to read from. And I'm going to zoom in, starting at the bottom, in connection with, all right? In connection with our aims. This is where I am. Let me see if I can, okay, so it will allow me to highlight. Boom, that's where I'm at, right there, all right? In connection with our aim, our religious aims and beliefs, right? So let's just speak on that. Religion is to bind yourself back, right? That is going back to that mindset pertaining to your ancient foremothers and forefathers so that your days may be long upon the earth land. And with this being said, the beliefs is being said in case, because we have to recognize that Prophet Noble Drew Ali, when he's on the scene to give Moorish Americans what they are actually, however, misclassified as Negro, Blacks, and Coloreds, he's speaking to a people that are illiterate. And so there are certain word choices that were used. And the reason why beliefs is used is to do their best to get to those illiterate people. Not something that's to be brought up as a debate to try to make it seem that, oh, Moorish Americans have beliefs. Prophet Noble Drew Ali is doing his best to communicate something divine and national based in metaphysics to beings that are illiterate. We got to keep that in mind and not be offended by it. In connection with our religious aims and beliefs, we must promote economic security. We must promote economic security. We must promote economic security. Let's be clear on what we're reading again. Moorish leaders, that's one being. It's not a Moorish leaders with an S apostrophe. It's Moorish leaders with an apostrophe S. Let's be clear. So this is Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Prophet Noble Drew Ali's historical message to America, which came before some other message to America. In connection with our religious aims and beliefs, we must promote economic security. We must promote economic security. We must promote economic security. The preaching of economic security among us is by no means as widespread and intensive as the circumstances demand. No other one thing is more needed among us at this time than greater economic power. Better positions for our men and women, more business employment for our boys and girls, and bigger incomes will follow our economic security. We shall be secure in nothing until we have economic power. A beggar people cannot develop the highest in them. Can't develop the highest in yourself. Nor can they attain to a genuine enjoyment of the spiritualities of life. A beggar people cannot develop the highest in them, nor can they attain to a genuine enjoyment of the spiritualities of life. A beggar people cannot develop the highest in them, nor can they attain to a genuine enjoyment of the spiritualities of life. So you got to ignore beings that will try to make ye or your loved ones feel that you're doing something wrong when you are actually providing a quote unquote product and or service to assist you in being economically secure. Even in the Moorish movement and other organizations or groups in the world, even though it's all within the Moorish Divine and National movement, there are radical and agitating speeches made by beings who are not successful, so they are bitter. And they seek to devour anyone who seemingly has the mindset and the upward look to be successful. Avoid those beings. Avoid those that want to make you feel guilty for taking the path that you're taking for economic security for yourself, your loved ones, so that you can be effective for your community. Our men, women, this is where I am. I was just ad-libbing right there. This is where I am. And Brother Sean, if you want to ad-lib, just let me know. I know you will. Our men, women, and children should be taught to believe in the capacity of our group to succeed in business. Read that again. Our men, women, and children should be taught to believe in the capacity of our group to succeed in business, in spite of the trials and failures of some of them. Trials and failures in business are by no means connected to any particular group of people. Some business ventures of all people fail. We have many men and women among our people who are qualified, both by training and experience. Boy. Who are shining lights in the business world of all the people. It is a sad weakness in us as a people that we have withheld the very encouragement, support, and patronage that would have made some of our worthy business ventures a grand success. It is a sad weakness in us as a people that we have withheld the very encouragement, withheld the support, withheld the patronage that would have made some of our worthy business ventures a grand success. And worst of all, have joined in the condemnation of them when they fail, when people are laughing, joking, poking. What was you about to say, bro?
It was just beautiful. It was like, it's a sad weakness, right? And he said that we have withheld the encouragement, support, and patronage. And then it goes, worst of all, they have joined in a common condemnation of them when they have failed. And then look at folks. Some folks will be like, oh, yeah, I'm not going to support them. And when beings are sincere, really trying to do something, and they don't have that encouragement, support, they're like, oh, they failed. They didn't make it. When the whole time it was something that could have brought something that everyone needs. But beings have this ego sense, this hate of, and ain't the business or the idea, it's towards the being. I don't want to say person, the being. It's like, well, I don't like them, so I'm not going to support them. But beings will support every other thing. And I'm not even speaking on a hate type thing. The beings will not support the beings who are really doing something great, but support something that is not providing to the people.
And I've come across the spirit too, where people will see Seven Hill Stars, see what we do, but then they'll send whatever it is that they're doing, and it's in the spirit of support us first, and then we'll think about supporting you.
Right,
And
and it shouldn't
they
be like
have
that.
not, they're brand new. Like, like they're brand new. They have not put in the time, nor actually paid their dues. You know what I mean? In terms of the work that Seven Hill Star has done. Go ahead, bro. What you about to say?
Yeah, and it shouldn't be like that. I mean, folks be like, support this, support that, but you can't really be what's the word, choosy in the sense of who to support and who not to support. If you see beings doing good, you should support them. I mean, folks will, let's say, for example, Seven Hill Star, right? Or let's say your cousin or sister, has a clothing business and you want to support them, but somebody will go buy Louis and all these other things instead of even supporting their own. And then when they have to give up or fail, it's like, oh, you didn't make it, haha, or why you didn't make it. And it says right there that they withheld encouragement, support, and patronage. Whether you actually, exchange energy or fiat for something, it can even be simple as encouragement or supportive sharing, like things with anything else. It's like, hey, man, you're doing a great job. Keep going. Or, just simple words of encouragement, support, and patronage that would have made it. But since beings wanting to withhold for whatever reasons and then join in, whether beings express it via the internet publicly or in their hearts, laughing at when they failed or when they didn't make it. And then I'm gonna even read this part right here for you, bro. Except in cases of actual dishonesty, discourtesy, lack of service, and actual unreliability, our business enterprises in every field of endeavor should have the fullest of confidence, cooperation, and patronage, pardon me, where and whenever and wherever they can be given.
It's interesting because I've even seen like my beloved mother mistress consort support beings that are either community based or very close loved ones, and let her and I have what we have. Crickets. I'm telling you, I've seen it. I've seen it and witnessed it with my very own eyes. I've seen how sincere her heart is in supporting certain ventures that don't even think twice to support hers. They may mention something one time, but it's no consistency. So yeah, so if beings aren't being dishonest, like let me speak on Seven Hill Star. Seven Hill Star is definitely has the reputation in delivering much sooner than people expect, and in such thorough fashion that people are like, man, hold on, man, this is worth way more. Which is why the numbers went up on sevenhillstar.com. That's one thing. And two, we are going to make sure that we're presenting ourselves to, because we're here first and foremost for the Moorish community. It's been probably can count on two hands with maybe fingers left over of how much support is really coming from the Moorish community.
Then I'm gonna quote Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, "The Europeans that helped me, why aren't you?"
Exactly. Exactly. Read carefully the doctrines of the Moorish Science Temple of America. It contains our hopes, aims, rules, and articles of binding ourselves back to that mindset pertaining to our ancient foremothers and forefathers, right? Religion. Every member should have a copy. In conclusion, I urge you to remember there is work enough for all to do in helping to build a better world. The problems of life are largely social and economic. The problems of life are largely social and economic. The problems of life are largely social and economic. In a profound sense, they are moral and spiritual. So when it comes to the phi cycle, the problems are largely social and economic. When it comes to spiritual and astral, in a profound sense, the problems are moral and spiritual. So the support is a lack of support because there's a large lack in moral and spiritual knowing. Period. That's just what it is. Have lofty conceptions of your duties to your country and fellow men in general, and especially those with whom you deal. This includes such honesty and righteousness as will cause you to put yourself in the other fellow's place. Look at that. That's so golden rule-ish there. It's also pertaining to the Holy Quran, Cycle 7. Look for the best in others and give them the best that is in you. Have a deeper appreciation for womanhood. Brighten the hopes of our youth in order that their courage be increased to dare and do wondrous things. Adhere at all times to the principles. Adhere at all times to the principles. Adhere at all times to the principles. And that's why I really love, first and foremost, myself, and then those that are my loved ones and my brothers. Because I know that's where I am at all times. Adhere at all times to the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. I am your affectionate leader. I shall continue to labor day and night, both in public and private, for your good, thereby contributing to the welfare of our country and its people as a whole. Right? Thereby contributing to the welfare. That's chapter 29, verse 3, degree 29, minute 3. Yeah, you can see my references, right? That's in red. Preamble of the North American Republic Constitution, 1791. Because I recognize the spirit in what things are being said. So your homework is to read the entire Moorish Leaders Historical Message to America. I read the second half. Go and read the first, right? You won't be disappointed. If you want this PDF, and it's really just the PDF I made pertaining to the Moorish literature, excerpts from the Moorish Guide newspaper that I got from the initial publication website that I and my brothers, have gotten our literature from. Right? And forgive me, I'm not being rude. I mean, we recognize too that beings that we have promoted and helped to make millionaires through our free promotion of them, they're not promoting us. And it's not, I know what I just read, right? I'm looking for the bestest in others and giving the bestest in myself. But it's like, all right, maybe there's some more beings now we can, look towards. Maybe have them on 7 Hill Star. Maybe we can start bringing people from our astrological association and start having them as guests, right? See how things move forward there, right? So now let's see, we can go, Brother Sean's going to read minutes 6 and 7 from degree 32, correct, bro?
Bro, it was 30, but you know what? I looked at 32 and I'm gonna do 2, 6, and 7 from both of those because those really go in harmony. Like when I read 32, I'm like, let me get that too. So yeah. So we're going from chapter 30, Holy Instruction of the Prophet, the social duties. Should I read the whole thing or the 2, 6, 7?
Just, you said 2, 6, and 7?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep. So
2, 6, and 7.
2. It is thy duty, therefore, to be a friend to mankind, as it is thy interest that man or mind should be friendly to thee. 6. His desire is to do good, and he researcheth out the occasions thereof. And removing the oppression of another, he relieveth himself. From the largeness of his mind, he comprehendeth and his wishes the happiness of all minds, or all men, all minds, and from the generosity of his heart, he endeavoreth to promote it.
Look at that. Look at that. And that's what 7 Hill Star has done, seriously. From the generosity of our heart, we've promoted, and it's funny, all of them are ran by women, right? Certain publishing websites, certain houses, certain jurisprudence arenas. I know that our promotion makes people go and check those things out, right? However, at the end of the day, there, I think, comes a time where we kind of go, all right, well, we've done what we needed to do. You know what I'm saying? What's the point of keep promoting something or beings year after year after year? And it's like, do now what we do. Do we reach out? What do you guys think? Let's see who's in the chat.
Bro, can you take me over to 32?
Sure
I'll
can.
read those other. I'm gonna read that 2, 6, and 7 from there. All right, so this is chapter 32, charity. All right, so minute 2. Very much. Yeah. From the fountain of his heart shall rise rivers of goodness, and the streams shall overflow for the benefit of mankind. All right, then we go to 6. Actually, I'm gonna read 3 too, because that's good. He assisteth the poor in their trouble. He rejoiceth in furthering the prosperity of all men, all minds. All right, so then 6. For evil he returneth not evil. He hateth not even his enemies, but requitteth their injustice with a friendly admonition. The griefs and anxieties of men or minds excite his compassion. He endeavoreth to alleviate the weight of their misfortunes, and the pleasure of success rewardeth his labor.
So let's just really ask then. Let's really ask the people. Like, I'm curious, the people. I'm just curious. Let's see who's actually here. Right? So the art of life. I was just watching part 1. That's what they say. Gen V says, Amin. Gen V also says, greeting, brother Sean, Hassan, and everyone. Happy Holy Venus degree. Halo City Young, that's Brother Al Noor, says, happy holiday Muslims, peace and love to you all. Mary Bagnash, she says, greetings, peace and love. Gen V says, symbiosis and homeostasis is necessary. Mother Barbara Bay, she says, greetings. Indeed, says, greetings, Hasan, greetings, Sean, greetings, everyone. Genevieve says, greetings. Mother Barbara shows her love. Mother Carmisha says, Islam, happy holy day. Mother Barbara is seconding that. Genevieve says, adhere at all times to the principles. And Genevieve also says, I know you're alive, but buffering on this end, no sound, no visual. We'll try getting back on. Indeed. And Mother Barbara says, ask what of the people? So what I'm asking, I'm like, what do you guys think? Do you guys think I should still keep promoting different, venues and websites like I've done for years? And I know Mother Barbara really knows that I've sat there and promoted certain publishing sites and other Moorish Americans and certain houses and even certain jurisprudence arenas. I'm just saying, do you guys hear them saying, hey, go check out 7 Hill Star? Am I wrong? I'm open for correction here. Live, I'm open for, do I sound like a hater?
Nah, bro, it's just being
like a hater.
Full of love. I mean, even the people could be like, all right, if you're gonna promote your best friend thing and you got something going too, and she don't promote you, will you continue to keep promoting her? At some point, will one draw the line? Right?
Yeah, when should I draw the line?
Stick in the
What
sand?
do you guys think?
Yeah.
What do you guys think? I mean, put a 1 in the chat if I should stop. Should I stop promoting certain publications and houses when they don't even promote us? Right? And we just sat here and read what we read about economic security. Right? But we've made these people millionaires. Am I wrong? I'm looking in the chat for the correction needed. Is it that much of a delay? See, Mother Barbara already said yes, she knows, and I looked down a couple times. So that means there's not too much of a delay in what I'm saying. But before we get into the lesson on the federal rules of civil procedure, we're going to go over rules 9, 10, 11, and 12. Let's just be clear. Am I not promoting? And it's funny because they're all ran by women. The publications website, that house place and endeavors, right? And then even the jurisprudence site. Do we hear them openly promoting 7 Hill Star like we had, like 7 Hill Star said, hey, check these beings out? No, we didn't expect them to do that. We didn't expect them to go, oh, well, if we promote them, they better promote us. It's just that over time, you know what I mean? It's like,
this is principle. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
it's principle.
Like, am I a fool? Am I an idiot by promoting these beings? Like, Mother Carmisha says, shit, if you're tired of doing it, stop. That's sensible, right? Mother Barbara says, yes, keep promoting if you're receiving something, no matter how small in return. If not, no regrets. Because I mean, and in that light, I see, like, because if I say, go to this publications website, because that's where we got our start. Check out this house or whatever, but only when this particular brother is presenting on 1st and 3rd Fridays, because I don't know about everybody else. But then again, maybe we, because my biggest thing was dealing with people that aren't Moorish American. But however, there are Moorish Americans that are worse than the Negro Black colonists. There are some Moorish Americans that are worse than beings that aren't Moorish Americans. So it's like, now we're at the point like, okay, well, we'll just interact with beings that are willing to interact with us. We learn what we can learn, and that's it. It's no need to get attached or anything, But I know these different publication sites, we've made millionaires. Houses, we've made millionaires. And I'm pretty sure the jurisprudence that we promote, that I know it's on this because of what we do. People watch 7 Hill Star to get like the scoop, and then they'll try to make it work for themselves, right? Ignoring the fact that we've done what we've done because we're doing it out of sincerity. However, I'm just at a point where it's like, let me G-check myself. You know, am I off? Mother Carmisha says you've paid your dues. I think so too. I mean, this is not like my first year. Right? In November, it'd be 9 years. Because when I first found out about certain publications websites, I'm telling everybody about it. Right? Genevieve says, don't hear or see it. It's all good, Jen. It might be on your end. Mother Barbara says yes at Carmisha. Carmisha also says some relationships have a natural break. Respect it. Okay, got you. Mother Carmisha also says Islam to Mother Barbara. So I mean, that's why I'm just really asking, because I don't want to sound like I'm a hater, right? Because lately I've been purposely not mentioning publications websites or houses or saying what the actual jurisprudence website is, because I had to sit back and think to myself, I'm like, am I still just sending energy that could be assisting Seven Hill Star in being economically secure to others that probably don't even think twice about Seven Hill Star, really, unless we're in their face. Other than that, we probably don't come across their radar. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Seven Hill Star, not ye, right? Saying Gen V. On the other sites. Yeah. I mean, the only way you can see me on other sites or anything maybe is if I have an account there and you want to message me at a particular, and this is not me hating. This is just like, I'm realizing that we've been helping people eat. And very little is like, it's almost like, where is our reciprocation is going to come from then? You know, is it stacking up and then there's just going to be this drop that's soon to come? You know what I mean? Is there people word of mouthing like, yo, go holler at Seven Hill Star, get your astrology done? Is that happening?
I mean, did we not get what we just read from the Holy Quran and the message, Mother Shalita's message? I mean, are we not getting it? I feel like we get it, but collectively, like,
maybe we need to go back to it, Brother Sean. What are you talking about? Let's see what you're talking
about. Go back to
right. Where do you want me to zoom in at?
Let's go how you started, when in connection.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So in connection with our religious aims and beliefs, which we know, as Brother Tosh says, beliefs are for fools and babies. But as you stated, that the prophet had to bring this higher information so that everyone can get it. You don't see a rocket scientist trying to explain to a plumber how to build a rocket ship, right? So we must promote economic security. The preaching of economic security among us is by no means, to the next page, bro, is by no means as widespread and intensive as the circumstances demand. No other one thing is more needed among us at this time than greater economic power. Better positions for our men and women, more business employment for our boys and girls, and bigger incomes will follow our economic security. How do we get economic security? By supporting our own, but supporting everyone that's actually doing things to assist everyone else and just not fatten their own pockets. Folks complain every day. I've been off the grid, but think about position for our children, for our men and women. Folks complaining about jobs or unemployment. There's plenty of things out here to do, honestly. Moving forward, we shall be secure and nothing. We shall secure and nothing until we have economic power. A beggar people cannot develop, or a reparations demanding begging people cannot develop the highest in them, nor can they attain to a genuine enjoyment of the spiritualities of life.
Let me say this,
Why?
bro.
Because there's no economic security. Go ahead, I yield.
Yeah, I mean, that's totally correct. And then, I thought about it. I thought about, do I seek to screen myself for the sake of fame? No.
A master never screens himself.
Islam, chapter 9 in the Holy Quran. So that's why I'm thinking, I'm like, all right, because you know how some people will try to take what we're saying right now and they'll go within their own misery to try to make fun of it. I don't really give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm really looking at like what it is that we've been doing and what we've been providing. And we have not been just robbing. We have not been robbing the people. We have not been trying to lay with every mother that we can possibly let. That's not our focus. Our focus is really like, when I read Prophet Noble Drawley literature, especially with my beloved mother, mistress consort, I'm like, babe, look, I've been on this. Like, I really embody what's being written here. Like, this is amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, man, it's like, it just makes me think. Gen V says, one sees and feels the sincerity of Seven Hill Star. Indeed, Jen. Mother Carmisha says Seven Hill Star is solid, 100. Gratitude. Indeed. I mean, and I know, because I've heard from a few mores. They'll be like, yeah, Mother Carmisha said, boom, 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 and I'm just like, oh, we know that there's a word of mouth there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? And I mean that in all decency. You know what I mean? Because we already know I'm not on some like indecency with mothers at all. And when it's known that I have a beloved mother, mistress, consort, I don't fuck that up. I'm very large in heart when it comes to fidelity. All right. Gen V has a loving reaction to that. Halo City Young, as Brother Al-Nouri says, you will be rewarded by Allah for your good deeds, Noble. Don't dim your light because of others. It's love out here for all y'all. Indeed, Brother Al-Nour. Gen V says, get it. Brother Al-Nour gives 5 on the left, 2 on the right, for the circle 7. Mother Sahar says, Islam, happy holy Venus agree. Hey, Mother Sahar, Islam. Mother Barbara says to Mother Carmisha, Islam. Mother Barbara says, I'm multitasking, y'all, but I'm listening. Indeed, Mother. And she also says Islam to Mother Sahara. Mother Carmisha says, oh, shucks, laughing out loud, right? Because I'm saying, like, people will mention that, hey, look, Mother Carmisha said, I need to, get my mirror session, right? And Mother Barbara shows her love also. So, so that's why that's why I said I had to be honest with myself. And like I said, I don't screen myself for the sake of fame. Chapter 9 is one of my favorite chapters. So I'm not going to screen myself for the sake of fame because I know, like, I don't forget where I come from. And I know how we present. And it may, turn off people who don't want to hear us speak, so intelligently or things like that. They might want to hear, like, us speak as if we have a lead paint poison problem, or speak like we're mumble rappers from some ward, from some certain city jurisdiction in the South somewhere. Like, oh, we can respect that. He's a real nigga. Like, what can I do but do what I know that I was like, man, look, this is how I see it. Like, this is what I see the prophet presenting. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I see it. And it's like, there's got to come a point in time, because I know what we particularly desire with Prophet Noble Drawley at the forefront pertaining to our mind is having Moorish community, like you see them so-called Jewish communities. Why is Jewish communities near wherever y'all at thriving? With your birthright and your principles.
Why folks hate on it instead of doing the work to build our own, right? Instead of taking that energy, oh, well, they got we could have our same thing, but are folks really ready to put that energy in to support that? Or do they just want somebody to come save them or do everything for them without putting any work in themselves? That's one of the problems too.
Yeah, because I know in my first year, like there's some Moors that a lot of Moors in some point in time they look to or converse with, but they're horrible actually. They have a very shitty spirit, right? But because they failed in some things, they've allowed themselves to become a negative voice in the Moorish community to the point where it's like people don't see that that particular being is harvesting your energies by having radical agitating speech and then sometimes presenting as if they're about the prophet's mission. But they failed in their first couple of years of doing business, having t-shirts and stuff or whatever. And so now they're bitter and have a chip on their shoulder. And wherever they go, they're spreading their funk pertaining to their bitterness amongst other beings. And it's keeping a lot of you from attaining to the higher spiritualities of life, attaining to a genuine enjoyment of the spiritualities of life. Because you like, well, shit, if this more like this, then shit, I can still be kind of niggerish, you feel me? Like, you know what I mean? I can still kind of be cool. I can put shades on with my fez. I can still post half-naked women on my Instagram and Facebook and just say, well, I'm just having a greater respect for womanhood. I really honor Mother. I think she's beautiful. But okay. Oh, okay. See, the thing about me, I'm very my eyes are wide open. My intuition is really on high. So high that at times it's like, am I blinding myself because I don't want to be rejected? And then I realize I don't worship Molech. I don't do Molech worship, which means why am I going to give a fuck about public opinion? I just got to keep just being myself. And then eventually, I guess more support will come. Right? We know that there are Moors out there that have supported other Moors that have stole from them. Stole from them. Embezzled finances. And that's why I'm thinking like, hey, did we give away our energy, Brother Sean? Did Seven Hills Star give away their luck for other beings to be able to thrive from?
Oh, very much so.
That's what it's seeming like.
Chapter 38. Degree chapter 38, minute verse 27. General opinion is no proof of truth, for the generality of men are ignorant.
You said 38:10?
Yep, 38, 27.
So that's why I don't do Molech worship. And we know metaphysically, Molech worship is caring about what others think outside of yourself. Like Mother Barbara says, yep, it begins within. So I've been knowing what I'm to do. However, sometimes even me, I get to a point where it's like, is this going to please my loved ones and my brothers? Or should I just keep doing what I was doing before my loved ones and my brothers? No disrespect to my loved ones or my brothers. Because isn't me being myself how I even, attained loved ones and brothers? No? By me being who I am unapologetically? Not caring about general opinion because there's no proof of truth when looking at generalities of ignorant minds. Genevieve says, failure is a state of mind, a personal judgment that can hinder positive growth and progression. Mother Barbara is sending her energy. She says, and yes. Mother Sahar says, truth be told, right? Mother Barbara is in agreement. And Mother Carmisha says, that's jewels, right? Gems. And I'm thinking like, okay, well, let me just be for real. And now have I presented sound bites for trolling individuals who claim they're Moorish Americans or should be actually the manifestation pertaining to these principles, pertaining to the prescription written by Prophet Noble Drew Ali? Have I just provided them sound bites to now make fun of Seven Hill Star? Maybe. Yet again, I don't give a fuck. Respectfully, I don't care. Because we do a great work. We continue to be sincere. We continue to not sell packages. We continue to not, when I mean packages, I mean $5,000 for your nationality, $2,000 for your nationality. Should we start something where people are giving 40 notes every month? You see, I know these things exist. Why didn't we do it? I'm just saying, why didn't we do it? Are we expecting the people to be grateful and faithful? Is that folly in thinking that people are going to be grateful and faithful for what it is that we're providing? No. Mother Sahar says, you've always been sincere and honorable. Mother Sahar and Mother Barbara has known me the most. Out of everybody on this chat, they have known me the longest. They definitely have known me the longest. I'm going to say for 7 to 8 years, at least. And when people see the activities, the ups and downs, the betrayals, and all types of stuff that I've experienced and have been able to be seen by all, I continued the path, stayed on the mission, regardless of the criticisms. Right? Just wanted to make sure, just wanted to get G-checked, that's all. Pure in heart / earth, says Genevieve. Mother Barbara shows her love. Mother Barbara also says, plumber, mechanic, roofer, etc. allow people to keep peopling. They are great at what they do, but don't pretend to mix the few in one, right? Got it. Indeed. So, for the sake of other people getting what it is that we got in our start, maybe we can continue to say certain publications URL for you guys to get to. Maybe we can. And just be like, okay, well, we know that these people aren't going to promote us. They're not going to invite us to one class to, be a special guest in, to help teach something that we've exceeded their knowledge, actually. And they've admitted it in private. That what we've done is really expounded upon. But it's like, okay, well, let us come through and teach then, so we can increase. But that might interrupt people shopping. No disrespect. Must tell the truth. All right? Based on experience. All right? Houses with their tickers running at the bottom of their presentations, promoting many other things, not Seven Hill Star. But yeah, shall we still say every first and third Friday, watch this brother on this particular house YouTube channel? Okay. But what we have to do now is expect for them to never promote us. And there's evidence of videos when physically going to these houses. Me being there and assisting in the lesson that's being taught has helped so many people be able to grasp the concepts that are being shared that seem to go over their head until I say something. Am I being arrogant? Come on, correct me. You guys are open to correcting me. I'm being arrogant. I'm looking. Put a one in the chat if I'm being arrogant about what I'm saying. Because I will say that Mother Sahar and Mother Barbara witnessed me making the attendance at that particular house be to the point where people couldn't even sit down. I'll never forget when Brother Seton Ra and Brother Haru was like, man, we know it's your promotion that's making that venue blow up like it's blowing up. We can already see it. We know it's nobody else but you. That's what Brother Seton Ra and Haru was letting me know back in 2018. Right? Mother Barbara says, yes, but correct. He puts a one. Yeah, I'm being arrogant. Okay, change it up. No, Mother Sahar says, she says, so what? You're stating facts. Confidence, not arrogance. Okay, I got it, Mother Barbara. Confidence. Indeed. Indeed, because I mean, it's the truth. You know, and it's funny because in private, when I presented these truths to these beings, it's kind of what like so what? And I'm like, glad to see that part of your personality. Glad that makes me happy because now I know, like, you know, it's not phony. Good. Okay. So what? Okay. Cool. Get to see who people really are. Right. All right. Mother Barbara says, many see me as arrogant. It's been my experience. Like, what the fuck? Yo, we love you so much, Mother Barbara. Mother Carmisha says, maybe I'm biased, Cancer, but I don't give a fuck if if you're being arrogant. Who messed with you is my question. It's not a matter of who messed with me. I just been doing some introspection. Right? I've been doing some Two of Swords type stuff. Right? And it's like, okay, time to move on. I don't need to imprison myself, tie my hands, blindfold myself like the Eight of Swords, do I? I don't need to do that, right?
Not at all.
So obviously it's graduation time. Yes, I've been inspired, Gen V, to have 7 Hill Star. Yes, technically that is true. Right? It is technically my creation. I am the conduit for it. So is Astrology Street, where I made all the puppets, made all the music, all the voices of all those puppets to assist in loved ones coming together with their children to learn astrology basics. So it's not just 7 Hill Star. We got another YouTube channel called Astrology Street, all rights reserved. And I'm the voices for all the puppets. I made all of the puppets, all of the music, and it was recorded on this iPhone 6 right here. This iPhone 6S. Right? Still got this phone, right? Should I have been selling packages so I can have like an iPhone 21 by now. I still got an iPhone 6S. Man, this is hilarious. Mother Barbara says, laughing out loud. Mother Carmisha, me too, right? She says, me too. So just wanted to speak on that, guys, right? And really just bring that to you guys' attention pertaining to, you know, the Moorish leaders' historical message to America and speaking about having economic security. And I think, like Brother Sean had read in Social Duties, right, and Charity, chapters 30 and 32, we've endeavored to promote things that we know within our heart is great for others to have. It's just interesting to kind of take a moment and contemplate and be like, okay, well, let's just, I guess, continue to give love and not look for it in return. 7 Hill Stars to continue to give love and not look for it in return. One more time. So we are to continue to give love and not look for it in return. Interessante. That's a lesson, right? All right. Let's go into our lesson. We're right here, right? Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. Now we're going to go through 9. We're in Title 3 now, the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, which is pleadings and motions. And we're going to go to 9, pleadings, special matters, 10, form of pleadings, 11, signing pleadings, motions, and other papers, representations to the court, sanctions, right? Those 3 different, subtitles there under Rule 11 and Rule 12. So we're going to do 9, 10, 11, and 12. And Rule 12 is defenses and objections. When and how presented. Motion for judgment on the pleadings, consolidating motions, waiving defenses, and pretrial hearing. So let's click on number 9. Oh, hold on. That was 10 that I clicked. Forgive me. Click on number 9 here. All right. Rule 9, pleading, special matters. And I yield the floor to our beloved brother in whom we are well pleased, Brother Sean Alim L. Islam.
Islam, brother, right? Rule 9, pleading special matters. A, capacity or authority to sue, legal existence. 1, in general, except when required to show that the court has jurisdiction, a pleading need not allege A party's capacity to sue or be sued. B, a party's authority to sue or be sued in a representative capacity. Or C, the legal existence of an organized association of persons that is made a party.
Oh, time out. So, A, capacity or authority to sue, legal existence in general, except when required to show that the court has jurisdiction, a pleading need not allege a party's capacity to sue or be sued.
Where did I agree to be sued? That's what immediately came to mind, right?
So that's when, so when you're challenging jurisdiction, what should come up is the capacity to sue or be sued. When you're challenging jurisdiction, right? Because it says, except when required to show that the court has jurisdiction, a pleading need not to allege. So I guess when required to show that the court has jurisdiction, a pleading needs to allege a party's capacity to sue or be sued. Needs to allege a party's authority to sue or be sued in a representative capacity. Needs to allege the legal existence of an organized association pertaining to persons that is made a party. Interesting. I yield, bro. I yield.
All right. 2, raising those issues. To raise any of those issues, a party must do so by a specific denial, which must state any supporting facts that are peculiarly within the party's knowledge.
Got you. It's interesting, right? So, hey, this is my notice of specific denial. I'm gonna put it on the record, and I'm stating all supporting facts that are peculiarly within my knowledge, right? But again, in order to really be a party, plaintiff or defendant, you must be of the same kind. It must be amongst the same kind of employees. So when people go through evictions and stuff with CPS or child support, it's robbery. It is bureaucratized slavery. Bureaucratized slavery when you're dealing with CPS, child support, evictions. It is bureaucratized slavery because they are simulating legal process for the sake of getting some type of financial outcome for their economic security. Look, there are people who are securing themselves economically by hoping you're ignorant to these things. And then they're going to play like they're ignorant. It's like, hold on, we're used to railroading people that are not of like kind. So are you saying that sheriffs doing eviction should only be evicting other sheriffs or other county employees? The answer is yes. And you're saying where they're getting evicted from, it should be property that has been ceded to the county? That is yes also. Well, why are they kicking people out of apartments and houses? Because they're using simulation of legal process by force. And docility, which means the people aren't challenging it, they're just going along to get along, is what's normalizing it. I yield, bro. B.
Fraud or mistake. Conditions pertaining to mind. In alleging fraud or mistake, a party must state with particularity the circumstances constituting fraud or mistake. Malice, intent, knowledge, and other conditions of a person's mind may be alleged generally.
Wow.
It's like, hey, man, I think y'all fucked up, man. Y'all got the wrong one, right?
And it's funny, too, because it can be stated in all the mistakes and the malice and all those things. However, you got some beings out here that you got to kind of like put your foot on their neck a lot harder because they'll try to wiggle themselves out of it or give some general automated response as if whatever you said is out of line with the bureaucratized slavery practices of that particular court venue. No, hold on, man. Stop. No, hey, look, man. Look. We got a well-oiled machine here of making sure we're railroading people via simulation of the legal process. Don't you try to stop it by holding us to our obligation. Don't you try to stop it by making sure we're actually doing what we're supposed to be doing. Don't do that. We're doing great over here. We're able to take our wife to Ruth Chris Steakhouse. We're able to take our wives
little
to
Johnny,
Poconos.
his four-wheelers and all that, and we're able to get Uncle Joe his favorite yacht or boat.
Do you know how much tuition is? I mean, come on, we gotta railroad you. We gotta make sure that we have a plausible deniability so that you guys don't actually have us be disciplined how we should be disciplined. Come on, we gotta keep the law alive, right? And so this
keep the law alive.
I know, right? That's what's going on out there, right? Mother Barbara's, she's laughing at the repeat. Sincere gratitude, says Gen V. Mother Barbara's laughing. She says, like kind and on the clock you must be in order to have to deal with CPS, child support, evictions, traffic tickets, as they call them, right? They're not even supposed to be running you off the road unless you've already been indicted by a grand jury. Gen V says a justum generis, right? But some people will say a justum generis, which means being of like kind. That's Latin for being of the same kind. Gen V puts the clock, right? Mother Barbara says, and at the pleasure of the governor, right? So if you're not, you don't have an application for a contract and an oath of office and a separately autographed separate statement that's separately autographed that says you are doing whatever you're doing with your first property is your rights at the pleasure of the governor, people aren't even supposed to be talking to you, looking at you, breathing in your direction of any kind. Mother Barbara says, yes. Driving Miss Daisy. He says, I sure like to take it to the Piggly Wiggly, Miss Daisy. Like, oh, Morgan Freeman. Mother Barbara is laughing at Gen V. Gen V's laughing, and she says she was booted again. All right, it's okay. Come on back in. All right, so we yell, Brother Sean, Islam.
Islam. C, conditions precedent. In pleading conditions precedent, it suffices to allege generally that all conditions precedent have occurred or been performed. But when denying that a condition precedent has occurred or been performed, a party must do so with particularity.
That means you gotta you gotta be all technical and stuff and put out the particulars. Because other than that, we need to allege in good faith that generally all the conditions precedent we're not of like kind.
Right? It's like, this is me. This is where you got me fucked up.
Basically.
This is me. This is where you got me fucked up. Can you comprehend English of where you got me fucked up with it stated?
Basically. Flat out. All right. I yield, bro.
All right. D, official document or act. And pleading an official document or official act, it suffices to allege that the document was legally issued or the act legally done.
All right. That's pretty simple and easy. I yield.
All right. E, judgment. And pleading a judgment or decision of a domestic or foreign court, a judicial or quasi-judicial tribunal, or a board or officer, it suffices to plead the judgment or decision without showing jurisdiction to render it.
In pleading a judgment or decision of a domestic or foreign court, a judicial or quasi-judicial tribunal, or a board or officer, it suffices, which means it is sufficient to plead the judgment or decision without showing jurisdiction to render it. Nah, son. Well, if that's the case, then that's because that the jurisdiction has already been discussed back here. Obviously, and there had to been particulars to say why there's no jurisdiction, right? The reason why you don't have the capacity to sue me in your traffic court is because I'm not a state trooper. I'm not a sheriff. I'm not a policy enforcer that's equally running people off the road. And really, I should only be policing the police, sheriffing the sheriff, state troopering the state troopers. That's how this really goes, man. That's how it really goes. And look where we are in life. We have to be the ones that keep writing the particulars to these people and keep forcing their faces in it. Here, puppy, this where you took a shit. This is me holding your nose to the shit. This hand here holds the rolled up newspaper that I'm about to whoop your ass with. That's kind of what it is. All right. That was judgment. Time and place, I yield.
All right. Time and place, no Janet Jackson. An allegation of time or place is material when testing the sufficiency of a pleading.
That's why I love no pro tonk. Now for then. I'm a time traveler. For the greater good, not time traveling for the negative. I yield, bro.
G, special damages. If an item of special damage is claimed, it must be specifically stated.
If an item of special damage is claimed, it must be specifically stated. Look at that. All law is specific, huh? And the specificity really lies in the intent. I yield, bro.
H, admiralty or maritime claim. 1, how designated. If a claim for relief is within the admiralty or maritime jurisdiction and also within the court's subject matter jurisdiction on some other ground, the pleading may designate the claim as an admiralty or maritime claim for purposes of Rules 14C, 38E, and 82, and the supplemental rules for admiralty or maritime claims and asset forfeiture actions. A claim cognizable only in the admiralty or maritime jurisdiction is an admiralty or maritime claim for those purposes, whether or not so designated.
Claim cognizable only in the admiralty or maritime jurisdiction is an admiralty or maritime claim for those purposes, whether or not so designated. Interesting. Guys, do your homework and look at the so-called, well, we know we're not dealing with equity, with admiralty or maritime anyway. We're dealing with equity, right? Hey, you took my 1, now you owe me 5. For real. When you go into I forgot which Bible verse that is, where it's like, if a thief take 1 ox in there to restore it to you basically 5-fold. Period. So where it says, if a claim for relief is within the admiralty or maritime jurisdiction and also within the court subject matter jurisdiction on some other ground, the pleading may designate the claim as an admiralty or maritime claim for purposes of, and you guys can go and do your homework on Rules 14C, 38E, and 82. All right.
Exodus 22:1, bro.
Is it? Exodus 22:1. That's what it is, right? And indeed, that's exactly what it is. Exodus 22:1. Let's see. Do I have that? I have a Bible gateway open there.
You got it, bro. You got like a million tabs, bro. I know you got it somewhere.
Let's see. Let's just open this up. Let's just open that up. Bible gateway, right? Let's do Exodus 22:1. And let's go amplified for this one. Let's turn it up, right? Let's go amplified on this one.
Hear me up. Now your next is 22:1 talking about oxen sheep.
If a man steals, go ahead, bro. I yield.
Property rights. If a man,
what kind of rights?
Property rights. And say privilege. Property rights.
That's like rights, like the rights to my rights, because your rights is your property. Whoa. Okay.
Right.
I yield.
If a man or mind steals an ox or sheep and kills or sells it, he shall make restitution of 5 oxen for an ox, or 4 sheep for a sheep.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph. 5 ox for an ox is 120%. Yo. 4 sheep for a sheep, bro. That's 100%, bro. But if you want to look at it that way. If you really want to look at it, it's like you took 1 ox and you owe me 5. That's 500%, technically, or 400% if you want to look at it from that perspective. And with the sheep, 400% or 300%, because 1 sheep is being replaced for the 1, and then there's 3 more. 1 ox is being replaced for the 1, and then there's 4 more. Right? Interessante, right? Just wanted to look at that, right? Just wanted to, say some things, just say, anyway. Just, I can't make it up, man. I can't make it up. Where's rule 9, man? We was just looking at it. No? Okay, that's fine. Now I know how to find it, though. Let's just do Cornell. And that's how I'll find it this way. Let's find it this way. I know. You guys are like, man, you got so many windows open, but we be studying. What's my just near? Where is it? Where is the rule 9? Some work's getting done if you guys hear some vibrating machinery out there. So thank you for your patience. I think we're right here. This is where we are. And Brother Sean, all right, number 2.
2, designation for appeal. A case that includes an admiralty or maritime claim within the subdivision H is an admiralty case within 28 U.S.C. subsection 1292A3.
Yes, well, that's some more homework for you guys to take a look. With that being said, right? Mother Barbara is laughing along with Mother Sahar. Mother Sahar says foreign court. Mother Barbara says a corporation. Mother Sahar says indeed to Mother Barbara. Mother Barbara says Islam and shows her love. Genevieve says this is what you're doing. This is what I want you to do. When Brother Sean was like, this is where you are. This is where you got me fucked up. Like, that's exactly correct. Mother Barbara applauds that. And Genevieve says, for the creatures of state, right? And Mother Barbara and Mother Sahara laughing at that. Alrighty, so let's go to
shout out to Mother Barbara. Like every time we on the live, bro, you say that, it's like I feel this warmth of love surrounding me.
Islam. Rule 10, form of pleadings, right? Because we're not going to belabor this, guys. We're going to get right to it, right? And this one's not even that long either. They're fairly short, most of them. All righty. Rule 10, form of pleadings. I yield, Brother Islam.
A, caption, names of parties. Every pleading must have a caption with the court's name, a title, a file number, and a Rule 7A designation. The title of the complaint must name all the parties. The title of other pleadings, after naming the first party on each side, may refer generally to other parties. B, paragraphs, separate statements. You gonna get your ad lib.
I'm just looking like every pleading must have a caption with the court's name, a title, a file number, and a Rule 7A designation. So go back to Rule 7, right? What is a Rule 7 designation? If we were to go back and look at Rule 7, we know Rule 7 is pleadings allowed, form of motion, other papers. Okay, cool. Right? All right. Back here. All right, I yield, bro. B.
All right, paragraphs, separate statements. A party must state its claims or defenses in numbered paragraphs, each limited as far as practicable to a single set of circumstances. A later pleading may refer by number to a paragraph in an earlier pleading. If doing so would promote clarity, each claim founded on a separate transaction or occurrence, and each defense other than a denial must be stated in a separate count or defense.
That's almost like our Quran, how our Quran is numbered, or some people will say the MLS format. Am I saying that right? Is it MLS format? And you guys are like numbering the minutes or the lines to things, but it says a party must state its claims or defenses in numbered paragraphs, not sentences, right? Each limited as far as practicable to a single set of circumstances. A later pleading may refer by number. A later pleading may refer by number to a paragraph in an earlier pleading. So you don't have to repeat yourself by saying the same word. You like, as said in paragraph number 2 or paragraph number 3. Right? If doing so would promote clarity, if doing so would promote clarity, each claim founded on a separate transaction or occurrence. And each defense other than a denial must be stated in a separate count or defense. And each defense other than a denial must be stated in a separate count or defense. And C, we yield, bro.
Adoption by reference, exhibits. A statement and a pleading may be adopted by reference elsewhere in the same pleading or in any other pleading or motion. A copy of a written instrument that is an exhibit to a pleading is a part of the pleading for all purposes.
Yeah. Yeah. So got a motion, got a pleading or whatever, have an affidavit to back it. Right? Because the affidavit is in support of the pleading, the claim, the motion. That's to my comprehension. But, we got to keep practicing and exercising jurisprudence, ourselves to get the experience. Can't just vicariously live through others' experiences.
Right. And that's like, to even do a parable, it's like, okay, you say you a hooper? Cool. Can you come out in the court and back it up? Or
Basically.
Someone that says they can do hair. Okay, you say you can do it, but can you actually do it? Just for a couple different reference points, right?
Correct. Absolutely correct. I mean, perfect comparison, bro. Rule 11, signing. Go ahead.
Signing pleadings, motions, and other papers. Representations to the court, sanctions. A, signature. Every pleading, written motion, and other paper must be signed by at least one attorney of record in the attorney's name, or by a party personally if the party is unrepresented. The paper must state the signer's address, email address, and telephone number, unless a rule or statute specifically states otherwise. A pleading need not be verified or accompanied by an affidavit. The court must strike an unsigned paper unless the omission is properly.
Written.
Hey, yo, DJ, bring that back.
Yeah, basically. What? 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 Read that again?
Bring that truth back, right?
Yeah, let's read that again.
Unless a rule or statute specifically states otherwise, a pleading need not be verified or accompanied by an affidavit.
I don't know if that's true. It said it needs not to be. That's cool about the necessity. However, I think there's a difference between need and must. Something that need not, it could be a must. Whatever. I yield.
The court must strike an unsigned paper unless the omission is promptly corrected after being called to the attorney's or party's attention.
So every pleading, written motion, that's number 1. Written motion, number 2. And other paper must be signed by at least one attorney of record in the attorney's name or by a party. Personally, if the party is represented. See, that party thing, that's Rule 17. I can't wait till we get there. Can't wait till we get there. To really kind of go in on that. It's like, but anyway, A party that is unrepresented. See, a party that's unrepresented is in propria persona sui juris, even though in these bureaucratized slavery venues, they would say, oh, it's a pro se litigant. Idiots. The paper must state the signers. See, a signature is for an idiot. An autograph is for someone that's competent. That's why I said these rules are not actually for us to follow. These is just what is being, is a burden being placed on beings that are not a part of the Judicial Conference of the United States, which is where this comes from. The federal rules of civil procedure are from the Judicial Conference. Can you imagine some beings that aren't from your home saying that they can make rules for you and how you need to go about attaining things, or in your own,
right?
like
that's like somebody coming to saying, hey, get your feet off the couch. And they ain't even, you know what I'm saying, stage of career. He's like, why are you telling me to get my feet off my couch? You know what I'm saying?
Correct. That's a problem. And again, so we're reading these rules to just, one, let's see what they are, while two, having in mind, we're not really supposed to be following these things, nor should people be exercising these rules against us. I'm open for correction, right? Then it goes to say, right, the paper must state the signer's address. That's a federal designation. The only thing that has an address is the post office. Addresses belong to a postal system. That's federal. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17.2, places purchase. Signer's address, email address, and telephone number. Unless a rule or statute specifically states otherwise. That's why I said, I don't know about that, because it says unless a rule or statute specifically states otherwise. That's why I think we should be having all documentation sealed by our own courts. And I guess here's where I'm kind of specifically speaking to Moorish Americans that know better, because we're not under Christian crusade. We have a treaty where it must be stated that we are not of like kind. However, people have done their damnness to make Moorish Americans, try to put all Moorish Americans in a pocket to say that, and this is why I'm saying all Moorish Americans, because you got some beings that are in Moorish Science Temple of America that be like, oh yeah, we ain't those Moors, they radical. What they fail to realize is that's a Act 3 violation pertaining to the divine constitution and bylaws for the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, adopted as its corporate name, Moorish Science Temple of America. That's an Act 3 violation, which then makes them only wear their fez in the temples or at special events when outside. Why not wear your fez all the time? Oh, since you're going to be discriminated if you try to go on a job interview. For those of you that's like, man, well, shoot, I've been, used to working, so I want to go on a job interview. So you're not going to wear your fez on a job interview? Why? Because you think you're going to be discriminated against? How true and faithful are you? How true and faithful are you? Well, it's okay. The mothers can still wear their turbans because they ain't going to pick on the mothers. Are you serious? Do you see Ashkenazims out there? Like, I'm just going to take my yarmulke off because I'm trying to get this job interview. Really? Are we listening to ourselves? All right. Just to catch up on the chat real quick, Jen V says, oh, Mother Barbara shows her love also. Mother Barbara says, Hasan, we were laughing at your long ass singing example. Indeed. She says, laughing her motherfucking ass off. You did the damn thing. Laughing out, almost grabbed my hat and boots. You're hilarious. You're hilarious. Donnell says Islam family. Mother Barbara says Islam. Mother Sahar says Islam. Mother Barbara says yes. And Jen V brings out the hat and boots, right? And she speaks to comment on diversity, right? That's where it should be. There should be an affidavit on a diversity, issue, because it's always diversity. Actually, it's always diversity. Why? Because you're not of like kind. You're not a jus dame generis. You have a policy enforcer making a claim against somebody who's just going to grandma's house. That's not on the clock, performing commerce, doing trade or business, which is performing functions of public office at the pleasure of the governor. They're just whoever they are in their own private capacity. And yet now they have to be forced to go to some venue for a hearing on a particular date when they never qualified in the first place to be stopped by the policy enforcer who's aiding and abetting in the simulation of the legal process. It's bureaucratized slavery being practiced. Because these are vampires who are trying to find ways for themselves to be economically secure by taking advantage of you not knowing how they should only be policing their own. Policing those that are doing trade or business, which is performing functions of public office at the pleasure of the government within the state. And within the state is for tax purposes. People's families and homes are being broken up because of these simulation of legal process practices. The court must strike an unsigned paper. You don't belong there. Unless the omission is promptly corrected. According to whose rules? Oh, the Judicial Conference of the United States, which majority of beings dealing with court situations are not even member to. Can you imagine not working for McDonald's and someone trying to use McDonald's handbook to determine an outcome in your life for your behavior, because your behavior is showing that you're not following the tenets, TENETS, or the rules pertaining to McDonald's? Can you imagine that?
It's like, yo, son, you violated employee section 2.31. It's like, motherfucker, I don't even work for you. What are you talking about? McDonald's handbook.
You are a no call, no show, and the fries needed to be dropped. So what we're going to do is we're going to charge you with not coming to McDonald's at a proper time, dropping fries and helping to hammer them with salt and handing the bag out of the second drive-through window. We're going to make sure that we're charging you $5,000 in fines, and you have to do 3 months of house arrest. That's exactly what it is. I don't know why we don't really see it that way. And we should, and share this with our loved ones. So again, like I said in the beginning, when Prophet Noble Drew Ali is speaking to people, he knows, especially at that time, speaking to an illiterate people. So he's got to do his best to say things in hopes that they'll get it. Because the unintelligent, the misnomered and misclassified Moor, who identifies with the slave terms Negro, Black, Colored, African American, is illiterate, arrogantly illiterate. It's not being mean. The truth is the truth. Once I learned and declared and proclaimed my nationality, I'm not going to call myself anything but Moorish American or a Moor, which really amor is love, right? See, so I can't help but to be the first principle.
And be oneself.
Period. All right, we're on the B.
All right. Representations to the court. By presenting to the court a pleading, written motion, or other paper, whether by signing, filing, submitting, or later advocating it, an attorney or unrepresented party certifies that to the best of the person's knowledge, information, and belief, formed after an inquiry reasonable under the circumstances. 1, it is not being presented for any improper purpose, such as to harass, cause unnecessary delay, or needlessly increase the cost of litigation. 2, the claims, defenses, and other legal contentions are warranted by existing law or by non-frivolous argument for extending, modifying, or reversing existing law or for establishing new law. 3, the factual contentions have evidentiary support or, as specifically so identified, will likely have evidentiary support after a reasonable opportunity for further investigation or discovery. And 4, the denials of factual contentions are warranted on the evidence or, if specifically so identified, are reasonably based on belief or a lack of information.
Interessante. So it's basically saying, this is why you're doing what you're doing for these purposes. Know that that's why you're doing it for these purposes. And just be clear. That's why it's always good to keep things simple. Sanctions. I yield.
Sanctions.
Mm-hmm.
1, in general, if after notice and a reasonable opportunity to respond, the court determines that Rule 11B has been violated, the court may impose an appropriate sanction on any attorney, law firm, or party that violated the rule or is responsible for the violation. Absent exceptional circumstances, a law firm must be held jointly responsible for a violation committed by its partner, associate, or employee.
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. The whole law firm. So remember, bro, when
It's
we
like
was
the whole
doing
misprision felony right there.
remember when we were doing the bar grievances and including all that work for specific law firms?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this just confirmed the spirit that we do things in. I yield.
2, motion for sanctions. A motion for sanctions must be made separately from any other motion and must describe the specific conduct that allegedly violates Rule 11B. The motion must be served under Rule 5, but it must not be filed or be presented to the court if the challenged paper, claim, defense, contention, or denial is withdrawn or appropriately corrected within 21 days after service or within another time the court sets. If warranted, the court may award to the prevailing party the reasonable expenses, including attorney fees incurred for the motion.
So in other words, it's like you can do this motion according to this rule and serve it under this rule, but it can't be filed because after the first initial service, you gotta get them 21 days to correct it or remove it. Like, okay, I hear you. I hear you. So it's almost like wait 21 days and they don't do it. You got them like that. We'll see. 3.
On the court's initiative. On its own, the court may order an attorney, law firm, or party to show cause why conduct specifically described in the order has not violated Rule 11B.
Interessante.
4.
We'll be getting to Rule 11 soon because we're doing 9, 10, 11, and 12.
Nature of a sanction. A sanction imposed under this rule must be limited to what suffices to deter repetition of the conduct or comparable conduct by others similarly situated. The sanction may include non-monetary directives in order to pay a penalty into court, or if imposed on motion and warranted for effective deterrence, an order directing payment to the movement of part or all of the reasonable attorney fees and other expenses directly resulting from the violation.
All right.
5, limitations on monetary sanctions. The court must not impose a monetary sanction, A, against a represented party for violating Rule 11B2, or B, on its own, unless it issued the show cause order under Rule 11C3 before voluntary dismissal or settlement of the claims made by or against the party that is, or whose attorneys are to be sanctioned. 6. Well, you gonna say something, bro?
I think it's plain.
Okay.
I yield.
Requirements for an order. An order imposing a sanction must describe the sanction conduct and explain the basis for the sanction. D, inapplicability to discovery. This rule does not apply to disclosures and discovery requests, responses, objections, and motions under Rules 26 through 37.
All righty. Think we're on to 11 now. So we'll get to see what 11B is, right? Signing pleadings, motions, and other papers, representations to the court, and sanctions. All right, here we go. Let's see how long this one is. I think this might be the longest one. Oh, no, it's still pretty short there, too. They're all pretty short there, bro. Maybe you just read the longest one, actually. All righty. I yield, Brother Sean. Islam.
A, signature. Every pleading, written motion, and other paper must be signed by at least one attorney of record and the attorney's name, or by a party personally if the party is unrepresented. The party must state the signer's address, email address, and telephone number. Unless a rule or statute specifically states otherwise.
Hold on, time out. Let me make sure. Oh no, we just read this. Forgive me.
No, I was saying, hold on, I'm getting a little deja vu.
Forgive me. So we were already in Rule 11. Forgive me. We're supposed to be moving on to Rule 12. Just guys, make sure you do your homework, right? So we're actually here at 12. Forgive me. All righty. Rule 12, bro. I yield.
All right. Defenses and objections. When and how presented. Motion for judgment on the pleadings. Consolidating motions, waiving defenses, pretrial hearing. A, time to serve a responsive pleading. 1, in general. Unless another time is specified by this rule or a federal statute, the time for serving a responsive pleading is as follows. A defendant must serve an answer, I, within 21 days after being served with the summons and complaint, or 2, if it has timely waived service under Rule 4D, within 60 days after the request for a waiver was sent, or within 90 days after it was sent to the defendant outside any judicial district of the United States. B, a party must serve an answer to a counterclaim or cross-claim within 21 days after being served with the pleading that states the counterclaim or cross-claim. C, a party must serve a reply to an answer within 21 days after being served with an order to reply, unless the order specifies a different time. 2, United States and its agencies, officers, or employees sued in an official capacity. The United States, A United States agency or a United States officer or employee sued only in an official capacity must serve an answer to a complaint, counterclaim, or cross-claim within 60 days after service on the United States attorney. 3. United States officers or employees sued in an individual capacity. A United States officer or employee sued in an individual capacity for an act or omission occurring in connection with duties performed on the United States' behalf must serve an answer to a complaint, counterclaim, or cross-claim within 60 days after service on the officer or employee or service on the United States attorney, whichever is later. 4. Effect of a motion. Unless the court sets a different time, serving a motion under this rule alters these periods as follows. A. If the court denies the motion or postpones its disposition until trial, the responsive pleading must be served within 14 days after notice of the court's action. Or B. If the court grants a motion for a more definite statement, the responsive pleading must be served within 14 days after the more definite statement is served. B. How to present defenses.
Right? Rule 12B, right?
Already. Every defense to a claim for relief in any pleading must be asserted in the responsive pleading if one is required, but a party may assert the following defenses by motion. 1, lack of subject matter jurisdiction. 2, lack of personal jurisdiction. 3, improper venue. 4, insufficient process. 5, insufficient service of process. 6, failure to state a claim upon which relief can be granted. And 7, failure to join a party under Rule 19. A motion asserting any of these defenses must be made before pleading if a responsive pleading is allowed. If a pleading sets out a claim for relief that does not require a responsive pleading, an opposing party may assert at trial any defense to that claim. No defense or objection is waived by joining it with one or more other defenses or objections in a responsive pleading or in a motion. C. Motion for judgment on the pleadings. After the pleadings are closed, or early enough not to delay trial, a party may move for judgment on the pleadings. D. Result of presenting matters outside the pleadings if, on a motion under Rule 12b-6 or 12c, matters outside the pleadings are presented to and not excluded by the court, the motion must be treated as one for summary judgment under Rule 56. All parties must be given a reasonable opportunity to present all the material that is pertinent to the motion.
This is kind of plain for me, bro. So I don't have nothing to ad lib there. I yield.
E. Motion for a more definite statement. A party may move for a more definite statement of a pleading to which a responsive pleading is allowed, but which is so vague or ambiguous that the party cannot reasonably prepare a response. The motion must be made before filing a responsive pleading and must point out the defects complained of and the details desired. If the court orders a more definite statement and the order is not obeyed within 14 days after notice of the order or within the time the court sets, the court may strike the pleading or issue any other appropriate order.
Which just kind of really has me thinking how much, you know what I mean, a lot of people are not to be acting under these things. Like I said, it's a Justin Generis, right? Or Justin Generis, as it's said at times, right? And it's like People don't belong there. People don't belong doing these things because they're not qualified. All this is railroading, simulating legal process practice. That's all it is. And it's like, and it all starts with identity theft. Someone taking your alleged name and social security number, which isn't supposed to be shared at all, isn't supposed to be is not supposed to be disclosed at all. And then technically you aren't even supposed to have a social security number if you're not one that owes a debt to the United States. Moors don't owe a debt to the United States. Really, no one does, unless they have an application filed to have a contract and an oath of office with a separately written, separately autographed, certified statement that says they are using 50% of their property, which is first and foremost their rights, to do trade or business, which is performing functions of public office at the pleasure of the government. I yield, bro.
Islam. F, motion to strike. The court may strike from a pleading an insufficient defense or any redundant, immaterial, impertinent, or scandalous matter. The court may act, 1, on its own, or 2, on motion made by a party either before responding to the pleading or, if a response is not allowed, within 21 days after being served with the pleading. G, joining motions. 1, right to join. A motion under this rule may be joined with any other motion allowed by this rule. 2, limitation on further motions, except as provided in Rule 12H2 or 3. A party that makes a motion under this rule must not make another motion under this rule, raising a defense or objection that was available to the party but omitted from its earlier motion. H, waiving and preserving certain defenses. 1, when some are waived. A party waives any defense listed in Rule 12B2 through 5 by A, omitting it from a motion in the circumstances described in Rule 12G2, or B, failing to either I, make it by motion under this rule, or I2, include it in a responsive pleading or in an amendment allowed by Rule 15A1 as a matter of course.
So what you guys do is when it's mentioning the different rules and stuff, just take the wording and then see what it's saying about Rule 12, because it's not really hard to look at these things if you just slow down, pick them apart slowly but surely, right? So you can be like, oh, it's saying this can be done and that can't be done. And this can be done this way and that can't be done this way. But again, you're not under obligation to do these bureaucratized slavery rule followings. Remember, this is what's being used against you to do bureaucratized slavery via simulation pertaining to the legal process. And I yield.
Islam. 2, when to raise others. Failure to state a claim upon which relief can be granted, to join a person required by Rule 19B, or to state a legal defense to a claim may be raised. A, and any pleading allowed or ordered under Rule 7A. B, by a motion under Rule 12C, or C, at trial. 3, lack of subject matter jurisdiction. If the court determines at any time that it lacks subject matter jurisdiction, the court must dismiss the action. I, hearing before trial. If a party so moves, any defense listed in Rule 12B 1 through 7, whether made in a pleading or by motion, and a motion under Rule 12C, must be heard and decided before trial, unless the court orders a deferral until trial.
Islam, man. I mean, man, bro. Very plain, very simple. We're getting towards our conclusion here. Mother Carmisha says, oh, Gen V says no contract, rubble with the whole McDonald's thing, right? Mother Carmisha says, would a bar grievance be effective if one submits it after the case is closed? I think you can report the wrongdoings of any agent being an employee of whatever agency or corporation. Because that's all we're actually doing. We're doing reporting. And technically, when reporting these things and people that are within these organizations aren't taking action against who the grievance or any other report is being brought against, they're not taking actions to enforce that, then now it's misprision of felony, right? 18 USC 4, right? Misprision of felony, right?
Bro, what Brian McKnight say in that song? You can bar grievance these beans at any time. At any time.
You can bar grievance these beings anytime. Wow. Do you ever think of judicial complaining for me? Okay. Genevieve says, question. If one is not in an organized capacity, how does one then bring suit against a corporation / business and or man or woman acting in agent capacity, not of like kind gratitude? We get it, right? So that means you're being injured, technically. Technically, you're being injured because people are rear-ending you in life. They started it. So it's almost like, well, if they hit me and I'm really supposed to be of like kind to hit them back, then wouldn't that be too wrong? So how does that make it right? That's kind of the spirit I'm taking it as far as your question, Genevieve. So I'm looking at it as it's a report. It's a tort claim because you're blowing the whistle. Hey, somebody get this motherfucker over here. You're not supposed to be doing this. You're not supposed to be taking advantage of what it is that they do to try their best to be in economic security, since they don't want to make something with their hands, provide a real service or a product. They go about making a commodity out of people's ignorance. Right? So that's kind of like how I see that. You know what I mean? Yours is really a complaint. No. Suing these beings and you're not of like kind, cool. However, at the end of the day, it's like, then what should we do then? Should we just shoot them in the head then? Do we keep allowing people who are abusing their position and simulating legal process to then go, well, didn't you say we're not of like kind? So you shouldn't be, trying to get me in trouble. No. We need to make the reports accordingly. These are the reports. And really, technically, who should be bringing lawsuit, as I said, are the people pertaining to that agency. Period. Oh, hey, you sat here and ran someone off the road and told them they need a ticket and they're not a policy enforcer too. So now the chief of police needs to be suing that policy enforcer deputized under his authority based on the complaint or report made by one who had to deal with that injustice, i.e. the man and or woman that's just not doing trade or business. It's not on the clock at the time they were ran off the road. That's how I see that. Mama Barbara says yes and applause. And Genevieve is laughing about the music portion of the stream, right? As far as you referencing Brian McKnight. Guys, we are here at our conclusion. I'd like to thank you all for joining us. Those of you that know, so I guess I'll say it here. We've got our start with Morris Heritage and History School at rvbaypublications.com. First Friday and third Friday, you check Brother Taj out at House of Reawakening Minds. And the jurisprudence gym is lawfulliving.com, where those of us that are part of the private ministerial action process group will be going there in about 17 minutes. All right. So we're within Kazini of that class starting. Astrology jokes. Okay, so with that being said, any questions, comments, and/or suggestions? Going once. Genevieve says, makes sense. Thank you. Mother Barbara gives applause and much love. Mother Sahar says, sincere gratitude to Brother Hasan and Brother Sean with an exclamation point. Gratitude indeed, beloved mothers. Absolutely. We are pleased with ye. Questions, comments, and/or suggestions are actually going Twizzers, right? Mother Barbara gives praise. Questions, comments, and/or suggestions going thrice. This is where I and Brother Sean say, be yourselves and
donate.
Yes, I will do all the editing after this, put up our thumbnail, put a description in and tags and all of that for this presentation. This is where, hey, Brother Sean, tell them about Seven Hill Star real quick, man. Be right back. Tell them where they should go, man, where to sign up and what to do.
Oh, man, you already know where to go. Seven Hill Star. As soon as that little widget pops up to say, to sign up for the email address, go ahead and put that in there. All right, so let me see if I can screen share. No, I can't screen share. Right, you know, the little widget come up says, welcome to Seven Hill Star. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, right, and get the email sent directly. And make sure that you go check out the website. You can check out the home tab, where you can cast your chart for free. So that you can have all your necessary details so that when one does reach out to Seven Hill Star or someone else, you kind of already have a general conception of where everything is, especially if you know your manifestation, what they would term birth time. But you know, if he doesn't, there are ways to work around that. All right, so definitely go that and check that out. And like there's new products, featured products. We have the poster so that one can get that are for free, and we have a lot of things that one can really check out on there. And make sure to click the 7-day Tropic Medical Astro Weather Report tab so that one can see the latest Astro Weather Report that we have done to catch up on that. And also on that page is the Mental Magician Reports that I've put out for free pertaining to Kendrick Lamar, LeBron James, and Dr. Dre. And you can download those for free, or it should be a way that you can just click on those and read those for yourself to kind of get a grasp or view of what I do with the Mental Magician Report. And then you click on events and see those, but when you go to the more tab, make sure you check out the Seven Hill Star merchandise. You check out the shop.
What? Let me make you forgive me, bro. I thought I had it set, but maybe not. You're not screen sharing.
In Mariah Carey's voice, you forgot about me, or you forgot about me.
You're hilarious, bro.
So let me come back. And also make sure you check out the new tab that we have, Copper Crystal Canvases.
Indeed, indeed.
Ooh, look how cool those are for those that are actively gardening, or like me at some point will get into the garden. And make sure that you get the things necessary to have your plants grow even better. Make sure that one checks out. I can't remember what it's called.
Permaculture. What you talking about?
Nature culture. Yes. Read my mind. Yes. To really boost one's growing and one's healthiness of their plants and food.
Yeah, they can get in contact with Copper Crystal Canvases by going to the About Us page and clicking their Instagram button so that they can be able to get in contact with those talented crafters there at Copper Crystal Canvases. Right, so they're right there. Right, there's their Instagram, and you guys can give a DM and speak to them directly, so you can order your Copper Crystal Canvas. I think not only do they do electroculture for your garden and gardening purposes, they also have like lock jewelry. Also, for those of you that have locks, or you just like to put it in your hair, put the the jewelry in your not locked locks, so to speak, right?
Say
As
that
well,
fast 5 times.
not lock locks, not lock locks, not lock locks. All right, okay. Anyway, so yeah, as well as many other things. You know what I'm saying, and it's really being well crafted. Alrighty. So you guys can be able to do that. It's more part of showing that there are other Moorish Americans that are out there that are sincere, that are doing everything to be one that is securing things economically, alrighty, for themselves. So with that being said, let's see, right? 17, Mother Barbara says Islam, 17 minutes to Wapner. Dun, dun, dun. Is that what you mean? Like Judge Wapner? Dun, 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 dun. I'm showing my age for that one. I know, right? King B says gratitude indeed. So yeah, and check out the all products that Brother Sean was about to go to before we mentioned this. So just go to sevenhillstar.com, sign up for the email list, and you guys can see also. You can get the CMOS from Brother Corey. I mean, it's a lot of things that we do, guys. You know what I mean? Really, really treat yourself and explore Seven Hill Star. Check every page out. See what it is that we have. Click every button. See what it does. You will not be disappointed, all right?
Yes, be like Dee Dee from Dex's Laboratory. Ooh, what does this tab do?
Get out of my laboratory, Didi. No, go ahead, man. It is what it is. Mother Sahara is laughing at Gen V. Love from Gen V. Mother Barbara. Mother Carmisha says she's taking notes. Love from Mother Barbara even more. Beautiful and purposeful. Gen V says, she says plants, right? Mother Barbara is showing her love also. Laughing out loud and Rain Man is what Gen V says. All right. So any last words there, Brother Sean?
Nope. Just check out Seven Hill Star, see what we got, and that's about it. And enjoy yourself on this lovely Venusian day.
Indeed, be yourselves. Remember
and donate.
All right, Brother Sean is going to lead us out with our invocation now, guys. You're going to extend all 5 appendages on the left hand, just the index and middle on the right. We're going to face directional east, which is symbolic metaphysically to going within. And you can repeat either aloud or in your heart after Brother Sean. And
my Sagittarius.
What'd you say?
I said, oh, my Sagittarius. Instead of saying hips. Oh, my Sagittarius.
Islam, bro.
Islam. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet.
Through his holy prophet.
Noble Drew Ali.
Noble Drew Ali.
Amen.
Amen. Indeed, indeed, guys. Thank you all so much for joining us. Make sure you guys enjoy yourselves, rest and recharge well. See you in the Jurisprudence Gym in about 8 minutes. And this is where we say to you all, namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, 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 y'all. Peace and love. Peace.